I've played over 1,000 gigs in the last 6 years as a professional drummer. And in this video, I'm gonna break down a chop for you, but not just any chop. It's a chop that I love to play, and it goes a little something like this. I'm gonna teach you this chop using my 3-step process. Learn it slow, play it slow, and mix it slow. This is the exact 3-step process that I use when showing my students how to play their chops and their drum fills. And it's helped them to go from sounding like amateur soloists to like absolute experts behind the kit. Let's jump on the drums so I can walk you through the 3-step process. All right, y'all, we about to jump in and get straight to it, but I would like to let y'all know this is a demonstration of how to break down my chop using this 3-step process. If you want to dive into deeper, more advanced concepts on how to develop and create your own unique chops and develop your own unique creative sound, then hit the link below in the description to get access to my full School of Chops program. It'll help you gain skills and confidence behind the kit, and it'll help you learn how to develop your vocabulary, your creativity, your soloing, your flow, and so much more. You won't regret it. It will definitely change your playing. Now, let's jump into this chop. All right, y'all. So like I said before, this is not just some basic chop, man. This is a chop that I actually use, and it's really, really, really dope. And it's some Zyck the Freak secret sauce. So I'm going to start off by explaining y'all the first step, which is learn it slow. When you are learning a chop, it is not going to do you any good if you come out the gate trying to play it all around the kit. So as y'all already know, I've taught this before. I'm going to teach it the same way again. We are going to start with the chop just on the snare. And this is the sticking for the chop. Check me out. Flam kick, left, right, right, left, left, kick, kick. All right, so as y'all can see, that is how you play it slow, okay? I kept it pretty much the same, and I went down the drums and I internalized the chop. Keep in mind, y'all, I made a mistake. I have to admit, I made a mistake. I'm typically supposed to be playing this with the metronome, but right now I do not have the metronome set up, and I always say, if you are a drummer practicing without a metronome, you are useless. So I got to practice what I preach, y'all. Today, I am a useless drummer because I'm doing this video with no metronome, and I apologize for that. Never do this without a metronome. Always, always, always do this with a metronome. So when you can play it in contextual, music context, it actually sounds good, okay? So the next part is going to be mix it slow. And this is a very, very important part because now we're going to talk about maybe incorporating some other things into the chop so we can work on getting into the chop and getting out of the chop. Okay, so when we're playing it slow, that's just a part of us trying to figure out how it feels around the kit, where it sounds good around the kit. So when you're playing it slow, you're trying to find out where it sounds good around the kit. But when you're mixing it slow, that's when we're mixing it with other ideas and playing it with other things to see exactly how we can get in and out of the chop. Because if you watch the video, I kind of was already playing some other stuff and I kind of went into the chop. Check out the clip again. See, and a lot of times y'all don't really realize that that's how it's going to work. Like we have to have ways to kind of come in and out of the chop to kind of like get into it and then get out of it when we're playing with hits. Because a lot of times when you're soloing, you're playing along to some sort of figures or hits. So the mix it part is very important because we're now using the vocabulary that we do have to get into this new chop that we're trying to expand on and learn. So as you saw in the video, I didn't just play the chop by itself like all of a sudden. No, it has been informed and infused into the vocabulary that I already have. And so we can kind of go in and out of it and make it cool. And that's one part that I really see a lot of people struggling with. You don't even know how to get into the chop, right? You practice the chop for a long time, But then it's like, dang, how do I get there in a musical context? Or how do I get there in a drum solo? This is the method that you use to get there. Whenever you use the mix it slow, you're now mixing it in and you're learning how to incorporate it. So I'm going to demonstrate that next, how to mix in the chop with your other vocabulary and stuff. And I'm going to do it slow, and then I'm going to speed it up and kind of just explore on how we can incorporate this into other ideas. I'm going to do it slow first. Check this out. Okay, so as y'all saw, that was very annoying, very excruciating, and very slow. But this is how we internalize the chop and break it down. I've taught this before. If you want to download a chop into your muscle memory and be able to play it sooner and play it faster, you need to be playing it slowly. So when you get to the step number 1, which is learn it slow, you need to learn it slow, and you need to learn it only on the snare drum. Really get the feel of it. Really close your eyes and really become one with the chop. Play the chop and really start to let the muscle memory download. Start to just feel it and think about it. Repeat the sticking to yourself as you're playing it. And that's going to help you, really develop this chop. Now, the next section is going to be step number 2, which is play it slow. Okay, so now I'm just going to play the chop the way I played it on the video, and we're going to do it slow still. Notice there's not a part in this 3-step process where you do it fast, okay, until performance. Okay, so and that's how I learned this chop. I did it slow. I had to internalize it and get it down. So when we play it slow, I'm going to play it on the kit the way that I played it in the video, which is a way that I usually tend to play it, and I like to play it. But I want to remind y'all of something. Tap into your creativity. When you learn the sticking by itself slowly on the snare, when you play it slow, play it in a different way from what I played it, because now you're just trying to regurgitate the way I did it, and that is not going to help you. So I want you to pick a way that you can play it on the drums for right now and dive into your own creativity. How do you typically go about playing other chops? How do you typically go about approaching other chops? I want you to think about this chop in that same way, but apply it in a way that you would typically apply it, so we can start tapping into a way that you would play this and how you can expand this and how you can change this. So I'm getting ready to play the chop the same exact way that I have done it in the video, and I'm going to demonstrate that way slowly to you guys so you can understand how the chop goes. Check this out. All right, y'all. So that was a demonstration of me mixing the chop around, right? And y'all can hear me doing it when I was doing it slow, incorporating some new ideas, trying some new things, and going back to the base idea. Keep going back to the base idea so you're now knowing how you can incorporate it, how to get back to it, and how to get out of it, okay? So one question that people ask me on the channel a lot is like, well, Zyck, man, like this chop is in 7 or 14 or whatever the chop is in. And I'm like, how do I do it in a 4/4 beat? Like, bro, when you box yourself in like that, that's why you're having so much trouble being creative, because you're like, there has to be a way that I can fit this in 4 bars. Why do you have to play by these rules? You don't. There's nothing in the rule book that says that. Okay? So a horn player doesn't do that. You wouldn't see a horn player doing that, only playing the notes that are in the key. No, they go out, they do different things. They pull from different scales to make it sound cooler. They start from different notes in the scale to make it sound cooler. So why, as a drummer, do you want to finch yourself in and say, well, this chop is in 7, so there's no way I can play it in 4/4, or this chop is in 6/8. There's no way I can play it in, another time signature. Like, you got to stop thinking about it like that and look at it as a broad scale of like, I'm going to make this chop work and I'm going to make it fit. And I'm more so going to try to incorporate it into the hits I'm playing versus incorporating it into a specific time signature, because I can assure you right now, guys that are playing at a high level are not worried about, oh, am I going to be able to play this in 4/4? That's not what they're thinking about, right? They're just thinking about how they can apply this chop. And I will tell you, this last step that I just did, mixing it, is going to really help you with that, being able to incorporate it into your vocabulary. Now, am I saying that I never have to run into situations where I'm like, oh, I got to make sure this fits? No, that happens. But it's more of a feeling thing than it is a thinking thing. You really want to get into feeling stuff and feeling what you're playing, because that's where the creativity comes from. Like, it comes from within you, man. So I know some of y'all get so distracted with that in the comments, and you really got to watch that, because that is going to stunt your creativity and most of all stunt your growth when it comes to the drums, okay? So those are the 3 steps. That's a chop that I always play. It sounds really, really dope. I'm going to leave it up to y'all to move it around and try different ways to move it. I'm not going to give you different ways to move it. I want you to find out how you can move it and how you can incorporate it around the drums and really open it up and start to dig into your own sound. But that's how you do that. That's how you learn it slow. That's how you play it slow. And that's how you mix it slow. And when you get to the mixing, that's the really, really important part of how can I incorporate this chop? How can I play this chop? How can I make it fit into different areas? You know what I mean? Let's say you did have to play that over 4/4, which is what I was doing in the video that y'all saw. How do you do that? How did I make it work? Check that out. Check out that clip again and really see how I made it work. I have a full video of it on my YouTube Shorts of the whole solo. But yeah, check that out and really open up and say, man, how can I incorporate this into different things? That's how you set yourself up for success. You gotta set yourself up for success. So y'all have fun with that chop, but most of all, be creative with that chop. That chop is dope. It's creative. And I want y'all to actually be able to feed off of that. That's a Zyck the Freak chop. It's really, really fun. It's really, really awesome. And I want to see what y'all can do with it. So dive into that. Please dive into that. And if you don't know how, let's say you're like, well, Zyck, I don't know how to take that chop and expand on it. That's okay. Hit the link in the description. There's a whole section about that, how to turn different rudiments and stickings in to your own personal chops and personalizing it in my School of Chops program. Click that, check it out, dig in, and get it. It is going to change your playing and change your life forever. I will see y'all next time. God bless. Zyck out.